I got a drug test this morning, actually. I was in a rules. I'm in this rules committee now, and my phone buzzes like, "Hey, you need to come and get your drugs test." I'm like, "Oh, sorry, gotta go."
Dario Franchitti, of course, you're sponsored by Banana Boat, so why not have a banana by my microphone as I talk to you a little bit about May? And you've had some pretty good Mays here, but May 2013 pretty much blows, doesn't it?
I have to say, May 12 was, up until this point, was almost as bad. Really was. I mean, I was pulling my hair out, and then we showed up on carb day. Yeah, exactly. Showed up. That's why I kept growing it. Showed up on carb day, and Honda brought a new engine. It was a big step up. The car was good. Mm-hmm. My engineer, our engineers, all the engineers on the Target team have been working their butts off to try and give us a half-decent car. We'll see if we get it tomorrow. We'll see if Honda bring a big engine. But it's been a stressful month.
How does it fall so far off the map compared to 2012? You're rolling to the same track, got the same people around you, relatively the same atmosphere. What happens?
That's what I asked. Firestone brought a slightly different tire, and it's not their fault. You know, it's not something they've done wrong. They just brought a slightly different tire, and the track's lost a bit of grip over the winter, and we've just been struggling to deal with it. You know, some guys have got it right. You know, obviously Honda were at a disadvantage in qualifying too. We weren't the fastest Honda though, so we obviously didn't do the best job with our cars. So it did a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and we need to get it together for race day.
Pity, poor me. Come on, it was Chevys last year that were fast. They did the qualifying, and then the Hondas kicked ass in the race. That's all that matters. Dario, you got it again in the bag. Come on.
It depends what happens tomorrow, right? That's the big thing. If Honda can bring a big step, and if we can get our car handling right, we've got a good chance. You know, we've got a chance of competing anyway. If we don't get the car right, or if Honda don't bring a big step, it's going to be a tough day because, you know, there's so many good drivers and teams out there, and people aren't making mistakes. So you've got to, you got to go out there and grab them.
Something that has really been eating me up over the last couple of years is fans saying we need more Americans in the series. It's I'm not following the series because there's not enough Americans. How can somebody not relate to you? You speak English well. That's your primary language. You're not an American, but you're very fun in interviews. Why do people get stuck on this, we need more Americans in the series?
They always confuse me because as far as I've ever seen, America is a country of imports. Everybody's, whether they're Italians or Polish or Irish or Scottish or English or French, it's a country of people have come here. And so I don't quite get that. But then the other point to your question, last year, Ryan Hunter-Reay won the championship. Last lap, I mean, literally last lap, it was down to it. He grabbed that championship. He won it. Nobody gave it away. He won the bloody thing. I heard it a lot. We need an American champion. It was like at one point it was anybody but Ganassi car, anybody but Dario, and then it was we need an American. And Ryan did it, and everybody ignored him. They were talking about politics 2 days after the race. I'm like, really? Really? You got everything you wanted. This guy deserves, what? The same thing with Ryan. What Ryan's good personalities, talks well, a young American guy, great story. Everybody ignored him. It was like, so some people are never happy. And that pissed me off. That really pissed me off. And I felt bad for Ryan. And I talked to him about it over the winter. We got back and forward on the phone quite a bit about, just him being ignored.
Dario Franchitti here in the SpeedFreaks pits. So what can be done? I know it's the million-dollar question. NASCAR's the 800-pound gorilla in the room, and somehow IndyCar has the better product on track, but it's not getting the TV viewing. What can be done?
Well, I mean, TV, first of all, we've got to fix that. People are struggling to find NBC Sports. We need to fix that because I think, as you say, the on-track product is second to none. I mean, that Brazil race, I wasn't part of that battle for the lead, but I could see it. It looked intense from even where I was sitting. Tony Kanaan takes the lead and the grandstands erupt. That was a great race. So we've got to get people watching on the non-network races, and we've got to do a better job telling the good stories, not focusing on the negative. We've got to do a good job. The on-track stuff is great. The Indianapolis 500 last year was I mean, okay, I won it, but I'm kind of biased, but I had Tony Stewart call me up and say that was the best 500 I've ever seen. We're doing the right things. We just got to get the message out there. We've got a young American champion now too. So hey,
American on the pole.
Yeah.
Listen, this is how you cure it all. You get some dudes out there to cause adultery, get some drug busts, and then put IndyCar on the map, and it'll surpass the NFL and the NBA, bro. I mean, some foreigners getting busted in this country, that'll be the end-all, be-all.
I got a drug test this morning, actually. I was in a rules. I'm in this rules committee now, and my phone buzzes like, "Hey, you need to come and get your drugs test." I'm like, "Oh, sorry, gotta go."
How does that go when you do a drug test? Seriously, give me the pardon me, but the blow by blow.
It's weird. We go into this room and you sign this form, and then you pick a container and you go in a room and there's a dude in the room. Actually, the dude left the room at the critical time, which I was glad about, because once they actually made him stay in there. But then you go pee in a jar and then you seal it and you sign it and they send it, and you should be asking.
You get any on you?
You should be asking Allmendinger this one. He knows the answer. Anyway, on that subject, how good was that? I mean, that's another feel-good story. AJ had a horrendous year last year.
Yeah.
There he is running right up front with the Penske guys. Roger's given him a second chance. He's grabbed it. Did you see his interview when he qualified for the race?
Yeah.
I thought his head was going to explode. How proud he was to be in the Indianapolis 500. That's the kind of cool stories we've got here. Elio and I going for 4. There's a lot of good stuff going on. We just need to get it out there.
I think AJ Allmendinger actually felt like he was 5 foot then.
He did. He was tall that day.
Dario Franchitti, Crash Gladys. I'm Kenny Sargent. Thanks, Dario.
Thank you.